Rugged phones usually look like someone wrapped a tank in rubber and called it a day. But this one, it's got dual screens, AI smarts and a Dimensity 7300 because apparently rugged doesn't have to mean ridiculous anymore. It's tough, it's kind of stylish, and it's clearly trying to win over the adventurers and the spec nerds. If you're on the fence about this thing and just want to know if it's more than a gimmick, this is the video. Let's get into it. Unboxing classic Ulefone yellow box. Right on top, a bunch of paperwork because they still love stuffing manuals in 2025. You got a screen protector, which is ironic for a rugged phone, but hey, I won't say no to extra protection. SIM ejector tool, standard. Then there's a protector case and yeah, it's solid. Adds bulk but reinforces the tank vibe. The phone itself is dense. And I mean dense. It's 450 grams of serious hardware wrapped in plastic. And at the bottom, 120 watts charger, USB-C cable and a strap in case you want to wear this thing like a mini kettlebell. This phone is a brick, but a refined, well-built brick. With the protector on, it's even more solid. At 19.5mm thick and 450 grams, it's one of the heftiest phones I've tested, yet somehow still refined. This is what happens when a toolbox and a modern phone have a baby. Military standard 810H, IP68, IP69K, it's dustproof, waterproof, and I believe it can take a proper beating. On the back, a 1-inch circular AMOLED screen sits inside camera module. It's not a second phone or anything. Just a quick glance display for time, notifications, music control and battery. There are 2 customizable buttons, one on each side. Support single, double and long press, meaning you can map 6 different shortcuts for things like turning on the torch, taking a screenshot or opening any app you want. Now here where it gets kind of funny. Ulefone makes a dedicated phone shell for this phone. Yes, a protector for the already rugged phone. It's sold separately or bundled depending where you buy. And yeah, it does add a bit more grip and protection, but also more bulk. So if you ever wanted to turn your rugged phone into a rugged phone, welcome to 2025. Weird times we live in. That said, with the protector on, it really feels like you could trip this off a scaffold and not flinch. Maybe the floor would break instead. You've also got an infrared blaster if you want to use the phone as a remote for your TV, robotic vacuum or anything with infrared control. There's also a Ulefone's U-Smart connector for accessories like microscopes and endoscopes. SIM tray takes 2 nano SIMs and a micro SD card simultaneously. Fingerprint scanner is fast and doubles as a home button. Face unlock works too, and it's just as snappy. Up front, we've got a 6.67-inch AMOLED display with a 120Hz refresh rate and a claimed 2200 nits of peak brightness. And honestly, whether you're outside in sunlight or welding arc territory, it stays visible. Now, I actually compared it side by side with the Ulefone Armor 30 Pro, which I reviewed not long ago. And yeah, there's a difference. The 28 Pro is just brighter at peak brightness. It's a subtle thing, but noticeable. And while it's purely anecdotal, the display on the 28 Pro also feels a bit more responsive, snappier on touches and gestures. Small edge, but it's there. And then here's a speaker. One speaker in a phone in 2025. I mean, really, it's loud enough for calls and occasional YouTube clip, but that's about it. I just don't like it. Thankfully, they didn't ditch the 3.5mm headphone jack, which in this day and age feels like finding a vinyl record in a Tesla. But it's a win. Plug in some decent headphones and boom, actual stereo sound. Imagine that. This is where things get interesting. The main sensor is the Sony IMX989, a 1-inch 15 megapixels beast. The kind of hardware you usually see in a flagship camera phone. Shots in daylight are sharp with solid dynamic range and color accuracy. It's also a 64 megapixels night vision cam with 4 infrared LEDs. This isn't a gimmick. In pitch black conditions, it can actually lit up scenes up to 20 meters away, useful for search and rescue, outdoor use or nighttime surveillance. Ultra-wide and front-facing cameras are 50 megapixels as well, and video recording goes up to 4K. Only catch, no optical image stabilization, just electronic one. Stabilization is okay for handheld shots, but don't expect GoPro-like smoothness. This is a selfie camera comparison between the Armor 28 Pro and Google Pixel 9. Dual mic noise cancellation, voice over LTE support, and stable call quality even in loud environments. The Armor 28 Pro supports dual SIMs, full 5G, Wi-Fi 6 and 7, Bluetooth 5.4, NFC and full global GPS systems. No dropped calls, no weird signal dead zones during testing. 10,600 mAh. Yeah. Let that sink in. You'll get 3 to 4 days of real world use on a single charge, and when you need to top up, that 120 watt wired charging gets you from 0 to around 70% in under an hour. It also does 50 watts wireless and 5 watts reverse wireless. Basically, you can charge other phones with this phone. That's some alpha energy. Ships with Android 14, and Ulefone promises Android 15 by the end of the year. Thankfully, minimal bloat. It runs clean and smooth. The Dimensity 7300 chip is paired 16 gigs of LPDDR5 RAM and 512 gig of UFS 3.1 storage, expandable up to 2 TB. App launches are fast, multitasking is smooth, and thermals are under control thanks to improved cooling. So let's talk about that AI button front and center on the home screen. It launches something called AI Digital Human, where you take a selfie, type some text, and boom, a video of you saying it.
Oh, this is definitely going to fool all my friends into thinking I've suddenly become a captivating conversationalist.
With an awkwardly synced animation and a default female voice. It's unsettling, fun for one use, and then forgotten forever. Also built in, background removal, object eraser and fantasy style photo filters. The background swap works okay, the object remover is pixel light at best, and the fantasy styles, let's just say, unless you're anime fairy girl, the presets might not click. Honestly, most of it feels like it was designed for TikTok teens or Eurovision contestants who can't decide if they are princess or princesses. If you're into glitter and eyeliner, this might be your thing. If you're into welding and hiking boots, maybe not. This is where the Armor 28 Pro generally surprised me. I mean, you don't pick a 450-gram rugged phone and expect it to game. You expect it to survive a drop of a forklift, sure, but Call of Duty, that's a different kind of stress test. Let's start with Asphalt Legends Unite. Cranked everything to max. All the particle effects, lighting chaos, reflections. I ignored the "this might melt your phone" warning. And yeah, no frame drops. Smooth, responsive and most importantly, fun. On a phone that could double as a doorstop. Next up, Call of Duty Mobile. High graphics, all the visuals fluff turned on, depth of field, bloom, fancy shaders, and it handled it without flinching. Gameplay was fluid, touch response was tight, and despite the phone's weight, I didn't end up with wrist fatigue. Well, not much, but let's be real, if you're gaming in bed and drop this Ulefone on your face, that's game over for your nose. This is a rugged phone, not a gaming slab from Asus or Red Magic, but it's holding its ground. Now, Genshin Impact. Yeah, you already know this one's gonna push boundaries. It's a proper GPU punisher. I ran it at medium settings, locked it at 30 FPS and tweaked a few settings to keep things stable. It's not ultra smooth, especially considering Genshin tends to choke even on some dedicated gaming phones. And here's the cool bit, the phone stays cool. Thanks to some legit thermal management, the frame doesn't get toasty, even after 20-30 minutes of continuous gaming. No thermal throttling, no surprise reboots, no weird touch lag. Sure, this isn't going to dethrone the gaming elites, but it's probably one of the best gaming experiences you'll get in a rugged phone world. And that's kind of wild when you think about where rugged phones were just a year or two ago. The Ulefone Armor 28 Pro is more than just a chunky slab. It's one of the most complete rugged phones I've tested this year. Killer battery, solid performance, bright AMOLED, 1-inch camera sensor, Fast charging, it's got a lot going for it. It's not trying to compete with Samsung Galaxy S whatever, it's targeting people who need a tough phone that doesn't feel like a compromise. If you're considering picking one up, there's a link in the description. Let me know what you think in the comments, especially if you've been using it. Catch you in the next one.
Family Pop TV.